A busy day 8 of action at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Let's talk about it. We're going to do it with a play-by-play announcer. His name is Greg Mescall. He's out in Paris for the Olympic Games, and he joins me now. Greg, how is your time in Paris going?
Man, it's going great, Dex. Thanks for having me back. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're right now right in the middle of it. When you spend about 3 weeks at the Olympic Games, you kind of get to that middle point, and you might feel in some games a little bit of a lull, but the energy here has just been fantastic. I feel like everyone's kind of ready to power through to the finish. So exciting times.
Powering through to the finish, and we continue to see some really impressive performances. Some history continues to be made. We saw that with Simone Biles on Saturday. She continues to make history. She won her 7th Olympic gold medal. She dominated the vault final at the Paris Games, became just the second woman to win vault twice. Greg, at 27 years old, Biles has been so dominant here at these games. Do you want to see her compete again in 2028? Or should she just go out on top here at these Paris Games? Yeah.
I'm so excited to talk about it because I was in the arena, in Bercy Arena, when she took home gold in the all-around, and the energy there was just fantastic. It really set the stage for the final floor routine. She was last to perform, and the entire place just buzzing. And we talked a little bit about last week, right? When those that are truly excellent deliver in the big moments, and it's almost as if everyone is waiting for her to deliver this gold medal performance. There's 4 different stages there to the all-around, and at the very end, comes through and it ends up being right the U.S. taking 2 of the 3 medals there. Suni Lee also on the podium as well, and then to come back and to your point, right, perform again. So just a all-around amazing story, especially coming off of Tokyo and all that she went through there, to be able to come back and to perform at this level. Yeah, to answer your question, of course, who doesn't want to see her keep going? Who doesn't want to continue to watch excellence and greatness up close and personal? So please bring it on, LA and beyond, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm excited to see her if she competes in LA. Obviously, supportive if she wants to go out on top here in 2024, but 28 in LA would be really exciting to see her because she looks like she still has so much more to give. That's what it looks like. And she still can do so much more, and it's really amazing to watch what she's done so far. Can't disagree with you there.
There are a handful of the athletes, right? Katie Ledecky, Simone Biles, where you watch them and you think they could just compete, for years and years. And to your point, right, nothing but respect if this is the end of the road. Of course, there are certainly other things to accomplish in life beyond just sports. But selfishly, right, as observers, as fans, as media, we just love these moments and want to keep seeing them as often as we can.
Yeah, no, we do. No doubt about that. I want to go over to soccer because there was a great moment in soccer today. Trinity Rodman, if you didn't see it, folks, you got to check it out. Goal for the ages for the U.S. women's national team. Rodman had a blistering shot that found the left side of the net in extra time. As the U.S., they knocked off Japan 1-0 to advance to the semifinals, where they're going to play either Canada or Germany. Greg, I don't know if you got a chance to see Rodman's goal, but what have you made of the play of the women's national team during their Olympic run?
Well, first of all, that goal being talked about, and it's interesting, at the Olympic Games, there's seemingly a new major highlight happening every 10 minutes, give or take. And so as soon as you process something awesome, something else awesome comes along. But this has certainly been buzzing around the Olympics community here in Paris over the last several hours. And you think about the U.S. Women's soccer team and just the expectations, right? And then to take on a team like Japan, also one of the most talented programs, and to deliver in that moment. I think there's so much pressure at an event like this, and in a very tight game, 0's on the board, to come through in that moment. Excitement, I think probably a sigh of relief, just because there's, again, such high expectations. But leave it to U.S. women's soccer, right, to, again, in a big moment, deliver such a memorable result. And so I know once we finish our talk, I'm going to head over to the highlights and make sure I've watched that a few more times back.
Yeah, you should. Just watch it again and again and again, because it's really that good. I'm a big soccer fan, and that was just a sick move to switch the ball over to her left foot and then find the finish there. It was really amazing, Greg, and I know as a play-by-play guy, you're going to appreciate the call on that goal for sure. Now, over the track.
Things we live for, right?
Oh, yeah, we live for that. The great calls along with the great moments. We live for that. So, in the sport of track and field, Sha'Carri Richardson, she was going for her first ever Olympic gold medal. She came up short, had to settle for the silver in the 100-meter finals for the women. How disappointing is this result for Richardson and for USA track fans who haven't seen a woman in USA, red, white, and blue, win gold since this event in 1996. How disappointing is this, Greg?
Yeah, I was hustling to get back to our call here because I was at Stade de France watching track and field tonight, and interesting conditions there. Right before that 100-meter final, some pretty heavy rain started coming down. Certainly made the track a bit slick, and obviously everyone had to compete under essentially the same conditions. But I did wonder as the race finished if that played a role at all. I haven't seen any of the post-race results or as far as comments, interviews. It literally just ended, within the last hour or so. From a disappointment standpoint, again, I feel like I'm always the silver linings guy, right? When we talk, but I think if you look at Sha'Carri Richardson and going back to the adversity she faced after the trials leading into Tokyo, so then to come back and to be able to be here and to compete and to come away with a medal, I know, especially for Team USA, we're so gold medal focused, and I have no doubt there's disappointment, right? When you're that close, when you are just fractions of a second away from being the gold medalist, there's certainly going to be some time needed to process that result, right? It's one of those things you so often hear about, right? Not necessarily winning silver, but losing gold is so often how it's referred to, and probably unfairly. So I think for her and for track fans feeling so close. But if you can zoom out a bit and talk big picture and think about what's transpired over the last 5 years, what an awesome series of events to be able to get back to this level, to qualify, to make it, and then to perform and to come away with a medal.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how she comes back from this. I'm sure there's disappointment in not winning gold, but everything that's not about that. You're right to paint the picture of the story and the fact that there is redemption for her, and she did come back here and still get an Olympic medal. A really good story for Sha'Carri Richardson. Now, over to the pool. Katie Ledecky, she did her thing in the pool once again in one of her signature events, the 800-meter freestyle, where she won gold for her 14th, folks, Olympic medal, not gold medal. Greg, can you put into perspective how dominant Ledecky has been in her swimming career, because she just continues to rack up the medals?
Well, it's funny, when we talked last, we were talking about her not winning a gold, and I had mentioned, well, when the events come up where she has to swim longer, she tends to do better, and you've seen that over the last couple of days. There was a screen capture floating around of one of her recent races here in Paris where it's hard to find the other people in the screen that were still in the race with her. How do you put what she's doing into context? Again, we hit on it, and I think everyone is probably sharing a similar refrain. You're talking about an absolute legend, an all-time great, someone that'll be remembered forever, not just in swimming, but in Olympic sports. And so everything she does the rest of the time here, if she's able to come back for LA, whatever is next, right? You're just icing the cake over and over again, right? She has done all the things you might want to do, continues to be impressive, continues to be a humble champion, and someone that you can't help but root for. But again, the results, the history etched in the books here. And so now just adding to her legacy as an absolute all-time great. That can never be erased. So now we're just talking about adding more and more amazing accomplishments. It's another person that you've got to see in person if you have the opportunity. Watching her on TV does not do it justice.
Yeah, I think both her and Simone Biles and how dominant they've been have just been incredibly impressive. And I think sometimes about the other swimmers, Greg, around Katie Ledecky, because when they're going in these distance races, right, whether it's the 800 meters or the 1500 meters, everybody knows they're just swimming for second place, and they're going to be way behind her. And that's the thing that's really impressive to see. That is Greg Mescall. He is out in Paris with Team USA. Greg, pleasure to talk some more Olympics with you. Enjoy the rest of your time. We will talk again soon.
Hey, thanks so much, Dexter. And I got to give one more plug. You mentioned battling for second place. Reminds me of those 1990s Knicks. Were they necessarily bad? No, they just had to deal with Michael Jordan. That's a
good point. Now, the Knicks fans watching this might not be happy about those memories, Greg, at all. They might not be happy, but
look,
you're right.
These Knicks fans, Dexter, it's burned in our brain. We can look forward and be excited, and we never forget what we also lived through.
Yeah, never got to forget those sometimes. I mean, good times, though. You know what? I'll leave it at that. It was a good time.
Yes, sir. Yes,
good times. Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.